Hi there, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Nest Pendant. This is the 1378-55. Awesome fixture. Really shows the craftsmanship of Hubbardton Forge forging. Lots of heavy forging on this, and we like to see that. So let's get into the size of the body of the fixture. That's going to be before we get to the height in adding these guys, these telescoping rods. So 16.7 inches is going to be your height. 30.6 inches in diameter, so this is going to be awesome for a 72-inch table, 84-inch table, 56-inch round table would be awesome too. People are also going to use this in foyers too if you have the ceiling height to make it work. So speaking of ceiling height, let's get into the rest of it. So if you're familiar with Hubbardton Forge, they have a patent on this whole telescoping rod system. Smaller rod is going to telescope into a bigger rod. Where they come together is called a clutch. It's right here. There's a little set screw right on the side. You can barely see it. So you're going to be able to raise and lower this to get it where you want it to be. When you do have it where you want it to be, and before you cut any wires, lock it into place with the little wrench that's going to come with it, and you're set and good to go. So this is going to be available in 3 different overall heights. And when we talk about overall height, now we're talking about the whole thing. We don't talk about parts. From the bottom of the fixture itself, which is going to be the heavy forged part, to the ceiling, you're going to have 3 different adjustable ranges. So let's get into that. So short is going to be 29.3 to 36.8. Standard is going to be 36 to 47.7. The long version is going to be 47 to 63. And don't forget, we're talking from the ceiling to the very bottom of the fixture. If you need shorter than the short, so let's say you've got shorter ceilings and you want to put this over a dining table, and 29.3 is just going to be too long. Maybe you're going to be putting this over a kitchen island. I think that would be pretty cool too. We do shorter versions as a custom. You would just have to, or longer too, don't forget. So if you guys want to do anything like that, best thing to do, shoot me an email, sales@HandmadeInVermont.com. Tell me what you're looking for. Say I'm looking at the Nest 1378-55. I need the overall height to be X, like 25, 22, 27, something like that, or longer, 84, 96. I shoot that email over to Hubbardton Forge to the customs department. It rolls around there for a little bit, comes back to me with an answer, a quote, and a lead time, and I get that back to you with no problem at all. Okay? So let's talk about more detail on all this. And how we're going to do that is we're going to look at the installations instructions PDF. So if you're on the page for this fixture, look over on the right-hand side of the screen, midway down. There's a link. Click on that. It says Installations Instructions PDF. These are the papers that are going to be in the box when you get this, and they show great information as well as technical drawings you're going to want to see. So they're going to show you that the whole idea of this telescoping rod, how it goes together, very easy. It's going to show you that this is going to be shipping with this top, which is a 5-inch round canopy. It's going to go over your 4-inch junction box with no problem. Only weighs 18 pounds, so you can just hang it from a regular junction box. Doesn't need any kind of special support. It's not that heavy. It's also slope ceiling adaptable to 45 degrees. So the top of this is a knuckle, and you don't even notice it. It's right here. So what happens is it allows this to bend just like that. Let's say this is your slope ceiling, and it would go into your junction box like this, anywhere from 45 degrees all the way to flat. So we kind of cover you through the whole thing. Okay, so moving on from there, why don't we touch on a couple other things. Well, let's just touch glass really quick. So this is going to be using Hubbardton Forge's really beautiful hand-blown clear glass. Kind of get it closer to you and kind of wiggle it around there a little bit so you can see what it's like. Really, really pretty. Remember, it's going to be clear, so you're going to be able to see whatever bulb you put inside it. So I'd recommend doing an aesthetically pretty bulb. I would not do something like this. We don't want to really look at that. What we do want to look at are really, cool looking bulbs, right? So in our showroom, I think we're using one of these two, and these are just like smaller LEDs. We tend to run LEDs in our showroom because we have so much solar panels that are on top of our building, so we try to do that. It's going to be using Hubbardton Forge's medium base porcelain socket. So that's going to be able to accept any kind of screw-in bulb. And your limit is going to be for incandescent 100 watts, and that's because of the heat generated by an incandescent bulb. If you want to do LEDs, your only limit is what can I get into this glass, because they don't generate much heat, they don't use a lot of electricity, so there's no limit really other than like a size of a bulb. And here's an LED that's that big Edison type, and that fits in great. So I doubt you're going to find many bulbs bigger than this. So all of these other cool bulbs that are LEDs are all going to work great, and including this guy, this torpedo, which is kind of aesthetically pleasing as well. So don't forget, you can choose lots of things when you buy LEDs. You can choose the wattage equivalent. This is probably a 40 watt equivalent, maybe a 60 watt equivalent. Sometimes we put in little guys like this in our showroom because we just don't need to show a lot of light coming out of it. This is a 25 watt equivalent. You can choose the color temperature of the light itself, and I tend to like the warmth of this incandescent bulb from my past. That's going to be 3000 Kelvin. Kelvin scale is going to be the warmth of the light. 3000 Kelvin is that warm light. If you get into what's called daylight, and daylight is a little misleading because daylight is actually a white light, like a doctor's office or a hospital. That's going to be 4000, 5000 Kelvin. So when you're looking at bulbs out in a store, just make sure that you look at those numbers and zero in on those numbers big time. So same thing online. 3000 Kelvin warm light, 4000, 5000 Kelvin is going to be the cooler white light. Buy a dimmable version of this bulb or these bulbs if you can. Put them on a good dimmer that's set up for LEDs and you'll be pretty happy about it. And then another little tidbit is the retaining ring on this is actually a retaining cup. So there's going to be a metal cup that's holding the glass onto the fixture itself. And the finishes on these tend to be, there's like 3 or 4 finishes that correspond and go with like 10 finishes on the rest of the fixture. So this may be like a slight tad different than the finish that's on the fixture itself. Once you get the glass on and get the bulb in there, you won't even know what I'm talking about. But it's just something that you may notice when you open the box. It's a little tiny detail and you can kind of go from there. Let's get into metal finishes now. If you're on our website, HandmadeInVermont.com, do me a favor, look over on the left-hand side of the screen. You're going to see a lot of red tabs over there. One is going to be the Finishes Help Guide. When you're done with this video, go over there and open that up for me, and you're going to see a video at the top of that page of me talking to you guys about the differences in Hubbardton forged finishes and how they can look on different types of forging. I'm going to be referencing a color chart just below the video, so scroll down a little bit, you'll see that chart. You'll notice there are pictures that have the letter A on them, pictures that have the letter B on them, and I'm going to be talking about that range you can see in variance on there in that video. So it's really important to watch the video, use that chart. When you're done with all that, come back down to that chart. You can click on any of those pictures and see a lot more samples of Hubbardton forged fixtures in that finish. If you want to see a bunch of stuff in dark smoke, click on dark smoke. If you want to see a bunch of stuff in vintage platinum, do the same, and so on and so on and so on. That's a great way for you to see a lot of Hubbardton forged stuff in different finishes and really take advantage of that, okay? So our showroom in Vermont has over 350 Hubbardton forged fixtures spread across 2 floors. We have a What's On display page on our website. It's going to be back in the red tabs over there. A lot of good things in that section. Check out. So when you open that up, you'll see it's all divided up into different sections like dining pendants and outdoor lighting. We're always adding to that. This is the biggest showroom in the world of Hubbardton forged. They don't even have a showroom like this. Nobody does. And they use this as their showroom when you guys come to Vermont to visit us. So lots and lots to see here. You can see all the different glass, all the different finishes, all the different fabrics, all of those things. In addition to that, we have a clearance center. So the clearance center stuff are returns, discontinued things, and showroom samples. That's an amazing deal for you. If you guys want to take advantage of that, you have to come here to Vermont to see us. And when you do me a favor, measure all the kind of things about your project and what you guys are doing. So the most important thing is measure your ceiling heights to begin with. Measure distances between junction boxes and like windows and ceilings and those kind of things. So if you're looking at sconces on the wall, you can see if they're going to fit for you. If you're doing pendants over a kitchen island, measure the distances between those junction boxes. Widths of tables, kitchen tables, dining tables, lengths of tables, islands, all that good stuff. And also do a couple more things. If you guys have some tablets or iPads lying around, take pictures of all these things. Take pictures of the kitchen, take pictures of the projects you're doing. Bring that in so we can kind of go through those pictures together and we'll be able to see what you guys are up to, okay? And also the boxes and clearance stuff, for clearance stuff, are basically packed for shipping. Don't forget, these were supposedly shipped out. So the boxes tend to be on the bigger side, so bring a decent size SUV if you want to take stuff home. It's a really good opportunity for you. When you buy your Hubbardton forged fixtures from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. There's no tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont. We're the only dealer that offers 90-day returns and no restocking fees. That's 3 months after you receive something to send it back, and there's no restocking fee on that. Some larger items and custom things, and it's usually going to be big things on pallets, are going to be non-returnable. it'll always tell you on the page for an item if that is the case. So always keep an eye out for that. And we also offer a rush program. So to get all these different metal finishes, Hubbardton Forge doesn't stock. They generally take about 3 to 4 weeks to get product out. We can cut that time in half, and it's really, really inexpensive. If you want to know more about that, just drop me a quick email and I can clue you in on details, okay? So our showroom in Vermont is open every day except Sunday from 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If you want to drop a quick email, you can do that all the time. And that's going to be at sales@HandmadeInVermont.com, and we spell out the word Vermont. Or you can call me during business hours, 802-446-2400. So thank you for stopping in today, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.